What's up everyone, Kawaii here to tell you guys about the spring 2024 anime I'll be watching. Easily the most anticipated season of 2024 and easily one of the most stacked seasons in in a long while. Concerning the amount of shows, the amount of big shows, anticipated shows, the amount of anticipated sequels coming out in the spring season. There's a lot of good anime that's coming out in the spring season, and a lot of anime that I'm gonna be watching. So, yeah, that's the purpose of this video to tell you guys all about it. So, for those of you who haven't seen me doing this before, I am not one of those anime YouTubers that goes on my anime list or any chart, talks about every single anime on the list. What I do is I only talk about the anime that I'll be watching. I picked out the anime I'm going to watch beforehand, and this video is just me telling you guys what I'll be watching, reading the synopsis for each series, telling you guys why I'll be watching them, and just giving my overall, first impressions and thoughts on each series. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to it. Oh, by the way, I have a slight cold, so if I sound a little bit nasally or congested, that's why. Well, anyways, well, first of all, let's start off with the sequels, the season 2s, the season 3s, the prequels, the sequels that I'm going to be watching. And guys, I'm not going to be watching just one sequel. I'm not going to be watching just 2 sequels. I am going to be watching 6 sequels in the spring season. I don't think there was ever a time where I watched this many sequels in a single season. None that I can remember. So yeah, let's get through them. So, the first sequel on the list is the new Demon Slayer arc, aka that I of course am talking about the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc, which, unlike the other shows, is not going to be starting until May. All the other shows in the in the spring season are going to be starting around April. This one, they're going to wait all the way until May. Which I don't particularly, I suppose I don't mind. I mean, we see that before with other, shonen shows, like Attack on Titan and all that. And sometimes, sometimes it's worth the wait. Sometimes it's worth the wait. I think it was like that for, I feel like it was like that for the Swordsmith Village arc as well. I'm pretty sure that started off pretty late as well, and that only had 8 episodes? Something like that. Anyways, yeah, new Demon Slayer Hashira training arc. I consider myself a big Demon Slayer fan. So that's why I'm relatively hyped for this. However, I wouldn't consider myself to be a huge Demon Slayer fan. I wouldn't say this is my most, or one of my most anticipated shows for the spring season. I mean, I kind of knew it was gonna happen. I mean, Demon Slayer is one of the most popular anime series out right now. So, and plus there's still a lot more source material to cover. So it's obvious we're gonna get another season of Demon Slayer. Yeah, I did watch. Of course, I watched all the previous seasons, even Swordsmith Village. Swordsmith Village. I thought Swordsmith Village was pretty good. Not as good as Entertainment District arc in my opinion, but Swordsmith arc was a pretty good arc. However, I enjoyed it except for the end. I did not like. Okay, this is gonna be controversial, but I did not like the end of the Swordsmith Village arc, mainly because of what they did to Nezuko. The change that Nezuko went through, and the change I imagine is gonna persist throughout future Demon Slayer arcs, including the Hashira training arc. It's yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. Well, I mean, it's kind of old news right now, so I guess I might as well just go ahead and spoil it. Yeah, Nezuko can talk now, sort of. Well, she could talk like she can speak actual words, and apparently she has an immunity to sunlight. So yeah, I did not like that change at all. But who knows? Maybe as I watch Hashira training arc and future arcs, maybe I'll get used to it. I don't know. I'm just gonna wait and see. But yeah, moving on. Other than, next up on the list, the time I got reincarnated as a slime, season season 3. This is what I've been preparing for. Both this and the irregular at Magic High School. Yeah, for those of you who have been subscribed to my channel and have been following along with my live reactions, I've been live reacting to pretty much almost the entirety of the Slime anime adaptations. I already watched the entirety of Season 1. I watched the OVAs. I watched the entirety of Season 1 Part 1. And as of the time I'm recording this, I am almost done with Season 2 Part 2. Right now I'm most recent one I got, the most recent episode I watched was episode 8. So yeah, so I have episode, the next episode I need to watch is episode 9. And I've been enjoying the series so far. So yeah, I've been enjoying the series so far. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how season 3 compares to season 2 and season 1. Also, for those who don't know, the reason why I decided to react to Slime in the first place is because I did not see the anime poll a long time ago. And Slime won first place. So yeah, like I said, can't wait to see how season 3 stacks up to the previous 2 seasons. Next up on the list, Misfit at Demon King Academy Season 2, Part 2. Really enjoyed Season 1. In fact, Season 1, I consider like one of my top 3 favorite show, like my 3rd favorite show back in, what was it? I think like back in 2021, I want to say. 2021, 2022. Yeah, I really enjoyed Season 1. Season 2, not as much. Not as much, I have to admit. I did not enjoy Season 2 as much. I mean, it was fairly enjoyable, but nowhere near as good as Season 1, in my opinion. It certainly doesn't help that they changed Anos's VA. Like, I understand why they did so, considering the whole controversy surrounding Tatsuhisa Suzuki, I think his name was, Anos's original VA from Season 1. And don't get me wrong, I think Yuichiro Umehara is a great VA, is a great Japanese VA, but he's just not the right fit for Anos, in my opinion. Also, the animation and the production quality was lacking quite a bit in Season 2, from what I remember. But yeah, so I'm hoping Season 2 Part 2, I'm hoping it'll improve. The series will improve on me in Season 2 Part 2. Of course, that could be just me being on that copium. And maybe it might be just as mediocre as Season 2. But we'll see. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on Season 2. I think Season 2 was, like I said, it was pretty enjoyable. But like I said, not as good as Season 1. Next up on the list, oh yeah, this is definitely a sequel that I'm hyped for. Date Alive, Season 5. Now, I have heard from a certain mad lad that this is where shit really goes down in the Date Alive series. Now, I believe this is pretty much going to be the final season of Date Alive as well, because they're going to be, I'm pretty sure it's going to be adopted like the rest of the source material, right? So yeah, I'm really excited to see where the series goes and how it ends. If it doesn't end with Season 5, then I'm at least excited to see where this goes. because I also really enjoyed season 4 as well. Definitely a step up from season 3, even though I did kind of enjoy season 3 too. And this is also once again created by Geek Toys, which is great because I do think they did a great job with season 4. So yeah, oh man, Data Live season 5, can't wait, can't wait. Yeah, and I probably would say this is one of my most anticipated shows for the spring season. Next up on the list, the irregular at Magic High School season 3. I mentioned this earlier. I'm catching up to both this and the time I got reincarnated as a slime by reacting to both shows. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I enjoyed this as much as Slime. I think I enjoyed Slime slightly more, but the regular Magic High School, it's still pretty enjoyable for me so far. Right now, I'm on season 2. At the time of recording this, I have yet to record my live reaction to episode 11. I'm gonna record that after I record this video. So yeah, no, episode 11 of season 2, by the way, just want to clarify. Yeah, I watched season 1. I remember that being pretty enjoyable. Season 2 is also pretty enjoyable, even though I don't exactly get some of it. And yeah, you know, like the other sequels in the spring season, I'm interested in seeing how season 3 compares to the previous season. And the last sequel on the list, I have to scroll all the way down to the list, which sucks because it kind of sucks because I mean I know this is a show that's doesn't get a lot of hype, doesn't get a lot of buzz, doesn't have a sizable fan base. But god damn it, I still love the series to hell. And the series I'm talking about is the Duke of Death Shimigami Bochan Season 3. I absolutely love the previous 2 seasons. I love the chemistry between the Duke, Alice, and I also love the side characterships that we have going on as well, like Cuff and Zine, who got massive romantic development back in Season 2. And we also got development for. We also got the emergence of Daleth and Walter back in season 2 as well, which is also really great. So yeah, I really enjoyed season 1. Season 2, I put as my second favorite show of all time back in 2023. My second favorite 2023 anime. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm very excited for season 3. And I did hear that season 3 is where everything is going to be wrapping up. So this is most likely going to be the final season of Shinigami Bochan. As much as I don't want this to end, you know, it really can't be helped if it really is adapting the entire source material. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this stacks. I'm excited for more Shinigami Bochan at least. So yeah, that is pretty much all the sequels I'm going to be watching for the spring season. Now let's move on to the season 1s. Starting off with Kaiju No. 8 by Production IG. Grotesque, Godzilla-like monsters called Kaiju have been appearing around Japan for many years. To combat these beasts, an elite military unit known as the Defense Corps risks their lives daily to protect civilians. Once a creature is killed, sweepers, working under the Professional Kaiju Cleaner Corporation, are left to dispose of its remains. Kafka Habino, a 32-year-old man, is unsatisfied with his job as a sweeper. From a young age, he has aspired to join the Defense Corps and kill kaijus for a living. After a few failed attempts, however, he gave up on his dreams and resigned himself to the mediocrity that provided a decent paycheck. Nevertheless, when an ambitious 18-year-old recruit named Leno Ichikawa joins his cleaning team, Kafka is once again reminded of his desire to join the military. Following a chain of unfortunate events and an interaction with the Junior Sweeper, Kafka encounters a parasite-type kaiju that forces its way in through his mouth, turning him into a humanoid monster. With his newfound powers, Kafka aims to give his lifelong dream a final try. Now, I have heard a considerable amount of hype for this manga series. I believe it's a manga series. Yeah, it's a manga. So yeah, I've heard a considerable amount of hype around the manga. That's one of the reasons why I'll be checking this out. Another is the premise just sounds interesting. Considering the fact, it's surrounding these action surrounding like giant monsters and all that kaiju, and the main character can turn into this like half human, half kaiju, badass looking hybrid, I must say. I remember seeing how badass he looked there in the previews. So yeah, also I feel like the whole kaiju like genre and themes, like the whole Godzilla theming has been quite popular lately. Because first, we got Godzilla -1, fantastic movie by the way, and we also got Godzilla X Kong. That's an upcoming movie. Now we have this Kaiju number 8. So yeah, also there's a rap battle with Godzilla and King Kong by ERB. So yeah, the Godzilla craze is strong in 2024. But yeah, definitely gonna be checking this out. Next up on the list is Whisper Me a Love Song by Studio Yokohama Animation Lab, Cloud Hearts. And it is a Yuri anime, I must add. So, and I mean, if you guys know me, I gotta check out Yuri. I gotta check out a Yuri anime. Yuri Asanagi is a mature girl in many ways, but is still pure when it comes to romance. That sentiment is proven when an underclassman, Himari Kino, suddenly confesses love to her after her band performance at the freshman opening ceremony. Confused and surprised, Yuri asks her friends for consultation, but they tease her by saying that she is experiencing love. Yuri soon makes up her mind and tries to return Himari's feelings. But in a twist of events, she realizes that what Himari loved was not her, but her music. As Yuri continues to pursue her love for Himari, she promises to make Himari fall for her. However, will this passionate love bloom or remain unrequited? So yeah, once again, it's Yuri. And that's pretty much the biggest reason why I'm checking this out. Also, I did watch the PV for this. And Asami Seto voices Yori, the more mature girl. And I will say, she's pretty damn cute. Like, she got some great gap mowing going on. Like, yeah, she's supposed to be this, like, mature girl with a deep voice. But she does have some cute moments in the PV. I'm feeling we're going to see a lot more in the actual anime. So, yeah. And I think Asami Seto, from what I can tell, pulls that off pretty damn well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to this. Next up on the list, Go Go Loser Ranger by Studio Yostar Pictures. 13 years ago, the nefarious monster army invaded Earth. But humanity's great protectors, Dragon Keepers, defeated them in a single year. Every Sunday since, the monsters have been forced to act out humiliating defeat after defeat in front of the unsuspecting public. Determined to change this, a single monster, D, infiltrated the Ranger force. With the help of the mysterious Ranger, Yumiko Suzukiri, D managed to seize one of the divine artifacts. The only weapons capable of permanently killing the monster's immortal bodies. However, Dee's subsequent encounter with the Dragon Keepers led to his unfortunate end, so who will stop them now? So, yeah, this is another like anime that that has like a fun twist to like the Power Rangers, like Super Sentai, like genre, like those types of shows. And I've seen those types of shows before. I watched first one that comes to mind, Love After World Domination. I remember loving the hell out of that series. In fact, I considered that like my favorite spring anime back in I believe 2022. Uh, Also, I watched that one show. I can't remember what it was called, but it was about like this company that creates like these monsters that the Super Sentai Rangers have to fight and all that, and it works like an actual company. Like I really enjoyed that one, even though I admittedly can't remember what it was called. I feel like if I look it up later, I'll recognize it. Uh, I have a feeling I have a vague idea of what the name was. But anyways, oh yeah, Kuro Itu-san, Kuro Itu-san. I believe that was the name, or I had Kuro Itu-san like in the title. If I remember correctly, yeah, Kuro Itsu. Yeah, this one. This Kuro Itsu from the Monster Development Department. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one. So yeah, that's pretty much one of the biggest reasons why I'm going to be checking this anime out. However, judging by the PV and all that, this is going to be much different than those previous two shows that I mentioned. And I say that because while this is also like a twist on like Power Rangers, Super Sentai type shows, those previous two shows that I mentioned, those are more like lighthearted. Love After World Domination, obviously like a rom com. Whereas Kuroitsu, it's more comedic in tone, and it focuses on the villains. This, however, apparently it's gonna be like darker. It's like a darker twist. To like the whole Power Rangers Super Sentai genre. At least that's what I heard. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. And I think I got that from the PV as well. It definitely seems kind of dark from the PV. I'm not sure if the Sentai Rangers in this series, if the Rangers in this series are supposed to be portrayed in like a good or heroic light. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in checking this out. Next up on the list is A Condition Called Love by Studio Eastfish Studio. I've never heard of this studio. Otaru Hinase is a first-year high school student who treasures her family and friends above all else. Unable to understand romance, she decides she will be content living without the experience of falling in love. While Hotaru is spending time at a cafe with her close friend, she witnesses the relentless breakup of a handsome honor student, Hananoi. Encountering him sitting alone in the snow on her way home, she extends her umbrella to him in a gesture of kindness. The very next day, Hananoi appears in Otaru's classroom, asking her to be his girlfriend. Despite being rejected, Hananoi sticks closely by Hotaru's side, performing selfless acts in hopes of pleasing her. Otaru begins to feel emotions she had never felt before. Believing that these emotions could blossom into love, Otaru agrees to date Hananoi. So yeah, this is a... Well, if you couldn't already tell from the synopsis and the art style and the poster, this is another shoujo romance anime. And one of the biggest reasons why I'm checking this out is because I consider myself a bit of a romance anime fan, and I have been kind of on a romance anime streak. I'm watching Asylum Affection and Seventh Time Loop, both of which I'm pretty sure Seventh Time Loop is like, I'm pretty sure both of those are like shoujo romance. I think one of them is Josei. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm watching those two shows, and I've been really enjoying the hell out of them. In fact, I would probably consider them like some of my favorite shows in the winter season. So yeah, that's pretty much why one of the biggest reasons why I'm checking this out. I feel the need to watch more shoujo romance anime, even though they're not exactly meant for people like me. They're probably not meant for people like me. Like they're probably that's probably not the demographic they had in mind. But I'm still gonna check this out because it does sound pretty wholesome. Well, relatively wholesome. I say that because, like, admittedly, the synopsis does kind of worry me a little. With the way that the main dude, Hananoi, he's persisting on Hotaru despite her already rejecting him. And that kind of sounds a bit problematic to me. Because, I mean, no means no. Like, usually you don't want to do that when you're asking out a girl. But I'm not trying to be like some sort of sensitive snowflake or anything like that. I'm hoping it won't be as like annoying as the PV might make it sound. But yeah, I'll be checking this out. Next up on the list, Unnamed Memory by Studio NG. My wish as champion is for you to descend the tower and be my wife. Climbing a deadly tower, Oscar seeks the power of its master, the Witch of the Azure Moon. He hopes her incredible magic can break a curse that will kill any woman he takes for a wife. When the prince sees how beautiful Tinasha is, though, he has a better idea. Since she's surely strong enough to survive his curse, he should just marry him instead. Tinasha isn't keen on the idea, but agrees to live with Oscar in the royal castle for a year while resurrecting the spell placed on the prince. Witch's pretty face hides several lifetimes of dark secrets, however. Secrets that begin resurfacing. So this is another romance show. I'm pretty sure this one doesn't exactly fall into the shoujo category. And this is definitely unlike a condition called love, which is more of a slice of life setting. This is more of a fantasy setting, obviously. However, unlike, or should I say, just like a condition called love, I'm a little reluctant to get into this one as well, but for a different reason. And my reason for my reluctance for Unnamed Memory is that the premise, and just judging for the PV, the premise in the series, I mean, it doesn't seem all that. It kind of falls a bit on the mediocre side. Like the production quality seems kind of meh. I'm not saying. I'm not saying there are any. I'm not saying there are like significant issues with the production quality, but the art style and everything kind of looks a bit eh. The premise kind of sounds a bit eh. But I feel like there's enough like it promises like an air of mystery. So I guess that I would say that is one of the reasons why I'm checking this out. Also because it's romance, and like I said, I am a bit of a romance fan. So I'll definitely give this a shot at least. Speaking of shots, next up on the list is Bartender Glass of God. Hidden in the back streets of the Ginza district. a lone bar operated by Ryu Sasakura, the prodigy bartender who is said to mix the most incredible cocktails anyone has ever tasted. However, not just anyone can find Eden Hall. Rather, it is Eden Hall that must find you. Customers of varying backgrounds, each plagued with their own troubles, wander into this bar. Nevertheless, Ryu always knows the ideal cocktail to console and guide each distraught soul. Now, judging from the synopsis in the PV, one might look at this and think, oh, what is this? Some boring bartender anime? Like, it definitely doesn't seem like the most exciting show. However, I feel like this has potential to be like a hidden gem. Because I just don't think like it's just about a bartender doing his job and just serving patrons cocktails and alcohol. I feel like there has to be more to it. And I kind of caught that judging from the PV. I mean, not just you don't just see the main bartender character, but you of course see a wider range of patrons, and both are like I imagine are at the bar for like different reasons, and they both have their own like each patron is like perhaps unique in some way. So yeah, I'm hoping it's not just gonna be like just some like series where like it's about a bartender serving drinks and not much happens. I don't think there's any way like it's gonna be just that, right? It's mostly gonna be just that, right? I feel like it's one of those shows where like it's all about the characters, like it's all about their interactions. It's all about the fact that you want to know more about not just the bartender, but the like side characters, the patrons, like whoever walks through that front door. Like I have a feeling it's one of those shows where like each character has an air of mystery behind them. You have to kind of like put the pieces together. Of course, there's a chance that I could be completely wrong about this series. That's kind of the impression I got. So yeah, I'll be checking this out. I'll be giving it a shot at least. Next up on the list, Grandpa and Grandpa Turn Young Again, by Studio Gecko. Shozo and Ine Saito have been happily married for as long as they can remember, even in their old age with wrinkles and cracking limbs. The strength of this love is evident by their precious bond. Yet, randomly one day, they wake up to find they are young again. Despite their newfound youthful and attractive bodies, Shozo and Ine remain the same as ever. Jisan Basan Wakegaeru follows the young old couple as they go about their daily lives, spending time with family and defy the expectations of the youngsters. Alright, so the main reason why I'm checking this anime out is just because of how fucking wholesome this anime seems. I mean, just by the synopsis itself, I imagine this series is going to be wholesome as hell. Because it's all about, like, this couple, like, despite being very old, and, like, despite being together for what I imagine is, like, years and, decades, even in their old age, they still love each other. And oh my god, I just find that really heartwarming. And yeah, I mean, the fact that they turn young again, it does seem like it is going to come across as a bit weird for some. In fact, like in the PV, like if you guys watch the PV, apparently one of the female characters like starts developing kind of a crush for like the grandpa's younger self, which I'm hoping it's not as weird as the PV makes it out to be. I really hope it's not something that ruins my enjoyment for the show. But we'll see. Either way, yeah, I'm definitely expecting this to be like wholesome as all hell. Like just nothing but like wholesome, like romance, a wholesome romance starring like a old married couple that just loves them, like that just loves each other, but that just loves each other no matter what. Uh, but yeah, next up on the list is Mysterious Disappearances by Studio Zero G. Sumireko Ogawa is a busty bookstore clerk who wants to become a novelist after some writing success in her youth. When strange occurrences started cropping up around the city, she teams up with her flirtatious coworker, Ren Adashino, to look into them. Ren is hiding a secret of his own. With their combined skills of occult knowledge, what will they discover as they investigate? Now, the main reason why I'm checking this out is that this series reminds me of Dark Gathering. From the poster to the synopsis to the PV. Everything about this show reminds me of Dark Gathering. And that's a good thing because I enjoyed the hell out of Dark Gathering. In fact, Dark Gathering was my second favorite show back in the summer 2023 season. And so yeah, I really enjoyed Dark Gathering. I think it's a very enjoyable, like very good horror anime. And that's something I feel like that you just don't get a lot of. You don't get a lot of like actual good horror anime. But Dark Gathering was it, in my opinion. In fact, there were some genuine. I feel like there were. I think there were some like. There were quite a few pretty damn unnerving, like scenes in Dark Gathering. I'm not sure if I would consider them scary. I think, well, I guess maybe a couple of them were pretty scary. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping that I'll get the same kind of enjoyment from this series as well. I would love to watch more like mystery, supernatural horror anime that deals with the occult and all that. And last up on the list, now, with Mysterious Disappearances, I have already reached my limit of 14 shows. Usually, when I pick out shows to watch for a season, I usually try to keep it a maximum of 14 shows. Because I don't want to, like, because I feel like if I pile on 2 shows, it's going to make it harder and harder for me to catch up to them. That's why I usually keep it a maximum of 14. However, upon seeing this show, I just had to add it. I just had to break my 14 character limit. I just had to make this my 15th show. This show I'm of course talking about is Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night by Daga Kobo. It is I believe an original anime. Yeah, it's source is original. Yoru no kurage wa oyogenai follows a girl who spends her nights wandering Shibuya, a place overflowing with identity. Unable to become anyone, the girl's life begins to change following a special encounter. Now, the synopsis may not sound much. However, the PV, on the other hand, that's where things really start to get interesting. First of all, I was just blown away by the production value. From what I saw so far, like the animation looked really good, the visuals look really good. And also the voice acting. I have a feeling that this is just going to be an emotional gut punch of a series. Like, this is going to be one of those shows that might make some people cry in some way. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Daga Kobo can bring to his original series. I have a feeling that this might be like a sleeper hit of the season, like Bartender Glass of God. So yeah, that is pretty much all of the that's pretty much all of the spring 2024 anime I'll be watching. Admittedly, I haven't looked at the OVA. I don't think there's gonna be any OVAs or movies I'm gonna be uh I have on my list. No, I don't think so. But yeah, let me know what you guys are hyped for in the spring season in the comment section down below. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.